the best look at the draft you could possibly get. We're having it right here on CHGO today. Brian Baldinger, Baldy, starts the show with us. And yeah, new Mount Rushmore, Chicago. Let's talk about that too. The CHGO Bears Podcast starts right now. That's right. We are looking at the prospects. Nobody loves a good mock draft like the CHGO Bears Podcast loves a mock draft. Welcome in as we are live from the Xfinity Loft alongside my handy-dandy trusty partner, who's not as handy as me, Carman the Farm Elite segment yesterday, Gregory P. Allen Braggs, who's got his mind on San Jose. And I got to let you know that during the show, I am going to look at flights because Greg is unwilling to pay for it himself to go see his Boilers. And I might just send him out there on my own to get him. Send you away. Send it in, Jerome. You'll handle your hotel and everything else. You'll find someone to stay with. There's got to be a diehard out there in San Jose who wants to put you up, right?
Baldy's got the madness bug. He's been breaking down St. John's buzzer beaters here on his Baldy breakdowns here recently.
There is no mountain too tall for Baldy to climb, and let's bring him in here as we start the show. Baldy, we've got you booked for 2 segments, so I hope you're free for the next 26 minutes or so here because we got a lot to cover with you.
All right, let's do it. I mean, you want to talk about Dylan Darling's kiss off the glass with the other hand, with his right hand to win it at the buzzer. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger or better than that. If you're a Johnny fan or if you grew up in New York and you rooted for Louis Carnesecca, Chris Mullin, and Walter the Truth Berry, I mean, it's just a flashback.
Let's go. This is the kind of madness energy I need right now.
Do you know any of the old school names that he just threw out
Chris
there?
Mullin? Of course.
Do you know Lou Carnesecca? Do you know what was Lou Carnesecca famous for? Baldy doesn't even know the sweater. Dude doesn't even know the Argyle sweater.
You got to have the ugly sweater. He started the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the amateur hour over here. But
you should have seen the ugly sweater the head coach for Queens was wearing. Against Purdue on first round. It was something to behold.
For the record, Baldy, I root for the Northwestern Wildcats because I grew up around here and I've got a big heart and I don't jump teams like some people do on the show. But I also went to the University of Iowa. So for the first time since I graduated in 1996, I'm all in, Baldy. Watch out for the Hawkeyes.
I agree. I mean, look, honestly, coaching just matters. You saw it with the Bears this year. Coaching matters, and you look at what Rick Pitino's doing. You look what Iowa's doing. They got the right guy in there. Here they are in the Sweet 16. It's an awesome story right now.
It is, and the Big Ten's having a renaissance here. But that's not why you came to the CHGO Bears Podcast.
Sure it is.
Well, maybe it is. I mean, we're all sports fans here. Come on.
Yeah.
But let's get into the football. And, you know, before we get into the draft, your breakdowns on Twitter are awesome and must watch as always, and I can't wait to get into some of the guys you're targeting because, you know, things would have to fall a little bit different, and maybe the Bears have to trade up to get some of your guys. But I like the fits, at least in theory. But look, the Bears said hello to Kobe Bryant. They said goodbye to Kevin Byard, who led the NFL in interceptions, just trying to get faster all over the field here. Devin Bush in, Tremaine Edmonds out. You know, there's a financial component to all of this, but just on the surface, what do you think about what the Bears have done so far? Do you like it, or are you a little skeptical?
Well, I mean, look, they led the league in takeaways. They led the league in interceptions. And if you take, you know, Byard and Nashawn Wright and Edmonds and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Jaquan Briscoe, that's 19 or 23 interceptions are gone. Now, honestly, I'd rather lead the league in takeaways than lead the league in defense because nothing is better than giving the ball back to your offense the way that they did and the rate that they did. So you can replace – I mean, I don't know how many interceptions Devin Bush has, but I know it's nowhere near what Edmonds has had in his career. And just the length that Edmonds has versus what Devin Bush is. I know he's probably faster, but, I mean, I think you lose a lot defensively. And I don't think anybody saw this coming this year. But, you know, I've known Kevin Byard a long time. That guy's got great skills, and that's hard to replace.
Just for the record, the interception number for last year for Devin Bush was 3, but he hadn't had one. He had 0 in 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, and then he had 2 in his rookie year in 19, just for the record. But, that, again, if he makes a ton of tackles, nobody's going to be talking about that. But just to your point, Tremaine did get himself in some passing lanes this year. Go ahead, Gregory.
Well, Baldy, obviously, I think one of the things you most hone in on is the trenches. And, Neville Gallimore comes over from the Colts, a guy that was a rotational defensive tackle that I think many Bears fans didn't know much about when he first joined here. I was surprised to learn that he was a captain on the Colts team. So, what are they getting in Neville Gallimore that Bears fans, may not be ready for or aren't aware of?
He's got a little bit of twitch to him. He was coming out of college. He's bounced around a little bit. But, for the most part, when you look at DeForest Buckner went down last year, Neville stepped in. They got a new defensive coordinator, so they had to learn a new defense under Lou Anarumo. But he's, look, you lose Billings, you lose some guys in the middle there defensively. You got to put bodies in there, but he's not a big guy. He's not an anchor. He's a fast twitch, up the field type of player. And so is there a trade-off there? Yeah, a little bit. You might get a little bit more pass rush than you've had in the middle there than what you've had in the past.
Putting you on the spot a little bit here, Baldy, although there's no putting you on the spot. Every single player back and forth in the NFL and in the draft. There is nothing that gets by you. We appreciate you being here. The chat's super happy to see you. Garrett Bradbury coming over for New England. He did a great job partnering last year with a second-year quarterback, made it to the Super Bowl, all that. Drew Dahlman, unexpected. Bears had to pivot. Do you like the way they pivoted, or should, if in your mind, look, $27 million for Linderbaum is insane, but in a vacuum, as Greg likes to say, would you have paid the big money for what to get that premium center and put yourself in peril elsewhere on your roster to do that, or do you like the way the Bears have sort of middled this, if you will?
Yeah, I think they middled it. Garrett isn't Tyler Linderbaum. But Garrett had a very good season. I thought a bounce-back season because I thought, Minnesota was really ready to move on from him. He was an undersized center, even coming out of North Carolina State, but he runs very well. He gets to the second level. He can climb. He can do a lot of things. He's very smart. He's a pure center. They had to replace Drew. They didn't have him on the roster. And so I thought it was a middle ground type pick, but they moved right away. You give Ryan Poles credit. As soon as they saw the retirement, they moved pretty quick to get Garrett in there. So I applaud them for that. And honestly, your offensive line, which was very good last year, and the way that they ran the ball and protected Caleb, you're only going to be as good as your center. If your center is weak, your offensive line is not going to be great. It just isn't. And so to get a guy in there that has, the intelligent smarts that you need and's got some ability, I thought the Patriots, they protected their quarterback. They ran the ball very well with 2 backs last year. I thought Garrett was a big reason why. But he's not the biggest guy. He's going to get pushed a little bit inside against the bigger defensive tackles in his business. So he's going to give up something. But at the same time, he's an experienced center that they can plug and play.
Hit the like button for Baldy here, and it just, Drew Dahlman wasn't a huge guy either, and that pairing worked incredibly well last year. But I am wondering, just listening to you say it, what you think of pairing an undersized or a smaller center with a quarterback who's not 6'4" either. That seems like you might be adding a degree of difficulty on. The intelligence factor playing big here, and the trust in Ben Johnson makes me not worry about it, but I do wonder just in theory, that combination.
Well, you saw what happened to Detroit last year when Frank Ragnow, retired unexpectedly, and they just fell apart. They weren't anywhere near what they were the year before. Now Ben Johnson leaving. Ben Johnson comes in, Caleb goes from being sacked 68 times to 24 times. We haven't seen that type of improvement. Drew was a part of that. The offensive line was a part of that. But also the development of Caleb was a part of that too. And so, I don't think it's that drastic to lose Drew and to be replaced by Garrett. But, they had some days last year when they went on Black Friday to Philadelphia and ran for 251 yards, against those defensive tackles. That was a big reason why. Now, Tooney makes everybody better. He makes the left tackle better. He makes the center better. He's just that. He's a Hall of Fame player. That's what those guys do. And so he's going to help out a great deal as well.
Well, while we're on the offensive line and you say Tooney will make that left tackle better, we're trying to figure out who that left tackle is going to be. You know, I know last year we talked a lot about the Canadian Eagle. Theo Benedict got his shot at one point. Obviously, Ozzie Trapillo probably will not play this season, and if he does, it'll be at the very end of the year. So now it really comes down to, you know, Theo, Jedrick Willis, and Braxton Jones, who returns on a one-year deal. I was a little surprised by the Bears deciding to bring him back. When you look at that position and those three names between Theo, Jedrick, and Braxton, where are you at in the early running for these three? There's still a lot of summer to be decided on them.
Yeah, there is. The left tackle is not a position that you cobble together. Like, you need to find a guy. And, you know, Ozzie really came on and played very, very well. Theo gave it everything he had. He's just not experienced. He wasn't strong enough in there. Now, year two, after a year of coaching, a year in the weight room and, you know, some protein shakes and everything, maybe he gets stronger. I mean, his feet are good. You know, that's why they signed him, and that's why they played him early. I'd like to see him in year two, what he looks like. Most guys, the biggest jump a player is going to make in their careers are between their first and their second year. So I kind of want to see what Theo looks like and what he plays like. Jedrick he was a first-round pick, and he had some good days in Cleveland. He also had a lot of bad days, and he had a lot of injuries. And Braxton's a guy that, you know, they didn't give up on him because they need somebody to man that position. So it's, you know, it just depends. Do they spend the 25th pick on a tackle that can play left tackle, come in and play? A Monroe Freeling? Can they, you know, will he be there at 25? Like, I think some of it is going to be determined by what they do in the draft.
I saw our guy, Motor Music Michael, in there. They're going to draft and develop a center based on Bradbury's deal. And we're going to talk a ton of draft in our next segment with you. But is there any centers out there that excite you? Logan Jones at Iowa. Shout out to the Hawkeyes. Connor Lew. You could go Kentucky. Jalen Farmer, maybe. I think I have that right. I know he's in the interior at least. Anybody you like as you peek at your board over there, Baldy?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a Duke guy. So, you know, Brian Parker's a guy that played in there. You know, he's also the right tackle as well, but that's kind of like what Graham Barton did. Graham Barton went from left tackle and became basically he's going to be a Pro Bowl center in Tampa. It's just a matter of time. But like, he jumped off the page of me. Connor Lew at Auburn. Like, it's actually a pretty good draft for centers, you know. And, you know, if you look at some of the centers in this league, that all of them are first round picks. Garrett was, but, you know, I think Drew Dalman was a 4th round pick. You can find these guys. You know, I mean, I've seen a number of free agent centers. I mean, you look at, you know, a guy like J.C. Kelsey. He was a 5th or 6th round pick when he came out of Cincinnati. You know, it isn't a position where you spend high first round picks unless you're Tyler Linderbaum and, you know, you're a state wrestling champion and, you know, you can just take guys to the mat with your leverage and core strength. And so I think you can find a lot of these guys in the 2nd and 3rd or 4th round, you know, in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be interesting. I'm excited to get to the draft so we can find out what's what in terms of some of these players.
By the way, we're going to have a draft party. We'll be announcing that soon. Be there.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Send the invitation.
There we go.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be working hard as well. For me, I guess my biggest question, going into all this is at the linebacker position now with Devin Bush. I know we just talked about him a minute ago, but they also brought back DeMarco Jackson. And, you have
Appalachian State played great last year.
Yeah,
really well.
He won Player of the Week. I think 2 Defensive Player of the Week twice last year. But then you have T.J. Edwards, who suffered a pretty bad injury at the end of the year, and Noah Sewell also suffered a pretty bad injury last year. So I guess the big question is, like, if T.J. Edwards is able to be healthy without knowing exactly how he's going to come back from that injury, like, who's going to be the middle linebacker? Who's going to wear that green dot? They bring Jack Sanborn back as well. How do you see that linebacking room kind of shaking out?
Well, can you draft Jacob Rodriguez with the 57th pick? Would he still be there? This is the best draft from inside linebackers I've seen in a long time. There's guys at the very top of the draft, but there's guys that are going to start for NFL teams next year, they're going to be taking the second round, like Jacob. Like, I think he's a second-round pick. But, I mean, it's a good draft to go draft a guy. I mean, forget about Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese and some of these other guys, But, I mean, this is an exceptional draft for inside linebackers. And it's going to go all the way into the third round, So I feel like you can draft a guy, not a guarantee, but, you can line up with what you have. TJ's been great since he's got there. He was for years until – Philadelphia found a suitable replacement. He was the best inside linebacker for the Eagles for a long time, even when he was playing in Chicago. The Eagles should never have let him go. But, that's what Wisconsin used to do. They used to just train inside linebackers and cross-train them. And so they became really good players in this league, like TJ.
Let's keep the draft talk going here, Baldy. Just hang out for 2 seconds here. We'll get into some Bears targets. But first, shout out to our friends at Bet365. Good, better, best.
Yeah.
You're the best. Chicago's home to the most
are.
iconic 3-word slogan in American sports. That's right. And Bet365, because they're just on top of their game, they are honoring the shirtless rally cry with their 3-word motto of their own. That'd be the early payout offer. Who doesn't love to get paid out early when you're watching a game and get the full amount that you bet? Because that's what they do for you over at Bet365, where winning is everything. Once you turn off lower whacker and you get that service back, download the app today. That's right. They're all over Chicago, Bet365. And, yes, they've got it going on right now. You bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets by depositing $10 and making that first $5 bet. It's as easy as riding the red line from Addison to 35th. 1-800-GAMBLER. If you got a gambling problem, please gamble responsibly. Must be present in Illinois. $10 minimum deposit is required. Bonus bet wager excluded from returns. New customer only, 21 and older. Time limits, minimum odds, and terms and conditions apply. In-app only. Void where prohibited.
That's right. Download that app. Make sure you use that code CHGO365. And shout out to our good friends over at Four Seasons. Listen, as I keep telling you guys, and I'll continue to warn you, winter is not over, and you got to make sure your home's up for the heating challenge. And now is the time to schedule your Four Seasons furnace tune-up today. And if you're thinking about a whole home generator, they have you covered. Nothing comes in more clutch than a whole home generator. Whole home generator, and then PCA. That's who comes in clutch.
There we go.
Four Seasons, they guarantee a same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. So visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com.
All right, so Baldy, I just want to give a genesis of a car morning for you. I'm going through Twitter and I'm thinking, who can we have on to talk draft and who's doing interesting things? And then of course Baldy pops up, and the first guy you're talking about is Gabe Yakis. I think I said it wrong.
Akis. No J.
Akis, jackass, Akis, whatever. I don't care. The dude can play.
You're the jack.
Yeah, I am, clearly. That's my bad. I wrote it down 5 times. I still got it wrong. That's terrible. But regardless, this is an Illinois guy, so there's going to be a lot of interest for local people, ILL, and the Bears need an edge. And maybe he'll be there at 57 too. There's a wide range of where he's going to go.
Yep.
What if the Bears went that direction? Would you like it, and B, just underline what specifically? Because I know you're not targeting guys you don't like. So what do you like about him?
No, I would love it. I think he's a perfect fit. Honestly, like his size, like he's almost 6'4", 6'3", and 7'8", something like that. But he's 6'4". He's over 260. He ran well. When I saw him at the Senior Bowl, I was there for 2 days at the Senior Bowl. He literally led every single drill. He was the first guy up. And I kind of like that. This is sort of a leadership thing. I saw the same thing from Mike Green last year when he was coming out of Marshall. Like, he led every drill. And so that kind of popped for me. But when I go back and I watch him, I think he's a great-looking prospect. Like, I think he's got an NFL body. I think he's got some twitch to him. I think he's got some pass rush to him. He plays the game really, really hard. Like, I know you got Austin Booker. I know they signed Deo from Indianapolis, but like, I feel like that's a guy that can actually line up and play opposite Montez, that has the necessary size, that can set the edge, that can be physical at the point. Like, I feel like he can slide into a variety of positions, maybe even play the 3 technique and a 4-man rush at times. I like his upside.
Well, certainly with his size, as you said, 6'4", 270 roughly, certainly fits the prototype defensive end that Dennis Allen typically tries to employ. So I think you set something off there. I'd love to get him in the 3rd round, selfishly, as opposed to the 2nd round. But as Carm said, I think his range of where he could go is kind of all over the map right now. But I am curious to take you back to that left tackle situation at 25. You mentioned one guy, but you didn't say anything about Kadyn Proctor. I've got a few buddies that do draft evaluation that are absolutely in love with this guy and his rare size versus traits, calling him the dancing bear. Do you think he's worthy of that 25th pick?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if he'll be there. I love Kadyn. I go to OL Masterminds in Dallas every year. Lane Johnson and Duke Manyweather started it, and they kind of brought me on board. So I've been there all 8 years. And like Alabama, like NIL money, some guys, I guess, buy cars, but Alabama guys come to OL Masterminds. Tyler Booker, Kadyn's been coming 2 years in a row. In fact, I introduced Kadyn Proctor to Tony Baselli last year, who was there. And Baselli kind of read him the riot act about, make sure your weight is right, make sure you're consistent. Like, I thought he had a really good year. Like, he's the most ready to play left tackle in this draft. I don't care what anybody wants to put up against him. That guy, he can flat out play. He's the most physical guy in the run game that there is right now. He moves big bodies. He is over 350. I think he wears it well. He's 6'7". He's a good guy, good personality on him. I don't know, there's nothing about Kadyn Proctor. Now, I guess all big guys you got to worry about, does the weight get to 370, and then you got to really worry. I don't see that from him. He looks like he's a worker. But Kadyn Proctor is to me, he's the most ready to play left tackle in this draft.
Hey, it'll be if the Bears go that way at 25. I will be surprised, but I
can never leave it off the table because of Ben Johnson.
I won't. At the same time, I won't hate it either. Listen, but I still think that they want to play this.
He's been putting the work in the offseason too, because he started the season at 390. He was at 352 at the combine. He said that's his ideal playing weight.
Yeah. I'm looking for more. I'm still focusing on the defensive side of the ball. Let's talk linebackers here. Anthony Hill, C.J. Allen, somebody.
Well, let's start with Anthony Hill because Steven, our producer here, was high on him going into the combine. And I saw your Baldy breakdown of Anthony Hill, and I just from talking to him at the podium was one of, if not the most impressive people I talked to that week in Indianapolis. Just found him to be very confident, insightful, detailed, mature. There was just so many green flags just talking to him, and then obviously you really showed on tape why he's special.
Well, I mean, he's been the anchor to Texas defense. They've had a lot of guys fly off the boards over the last couple of years, deep into the playoffs. And, I just happened to watch him live this year. I did the Texas OU game. And I did the Texas A&M game. So I was around that team down the field before the game warm-ups. He has the right approach to it. I believe he's a top 40 player in this draft. Like I said, it's a very good and deep draft for inside linebackers. And look, I mean, you play at that level in that conference and you stay healthy and you produce the way he's produced, you have to take him as literally a guy that you can plug and play pretty seriously, though. But, people, there's some people that just love him because of his production and his overall skill set. He's not going to come off the field. He's a 3-down linebacker. There's a lot to like about Anthony Hill.
So let's talk safety now. We'll get back to linebackers, but let's just assume that. I mean, look, I've seen it mocked recently where both Emmanuel McNeil-Warren and Dylan Thieneman are both off the board by the time the Bears go at 25. That's at least on the table. So then you go down the list: Wheatley, Clark, Johnson, Jacoby Thomas, the U. I'm trying to figure out somebody that's in that 57 to 60 range that could go. Anybody jump out at you, Baldy, that you like there? I'm putting a little pressure on you right now, but
Yeah, I don't know if I know enough about some of those guys that are day two right now. I'm still a month away. I mean, look, Thieneman he looks like he's just in a box safety. He actually plays like the rat position at Oregon. Like he was in the middle of the field and they just let him just go to the ball and just fly to the ball and just go blow things up. When you lose your two starting safeties like you have, like he might be there at 25, but like I'd be drooling to try to get a guy like that. And you don't normally see safeties. Some years they don't get a safety drafted in the first round. Like you get these guys in free agency, but that's a guy that I would target. Is one of my 5 guys at number 25 right now if he was available.
It'd be more of a Ryan Pace move than a Ryan Poles one, but like he might be willing to give up one of the 57 and or the 60 to move up like 3 spots to secure that he got the guy. I mean that's something he would do, and then I would scream at him for doing that, Baldy. But if that happened, would you hate it, or would you be like, I get it, man? Go get your dude. If whatever your intel is, if one of the safeties goes, I don't know.
Like safeties are so valuable because honestly, if you make a mistake on the back end in the defense, you give up touchdowns. Like whether it's a bad tackle, bad angle, don't play the ball in the air properly. I mean, you're giving up touchdowns in this league. Especially, you're going up against, you're going to Green Bay, your nemesis, in the way that they can get the ball over the top. Like you better have good safeties that can tackle and don't make mistakes communication-wise on the back end. And so you better get that thing fixed, or it doesn't really matter what you do up front and what you do in the corners. Like that ball's going to go over your head, or they're going to go down the field for long runs. And so give me a guy that can tackle and you're not going to save lives, but you can save touchdowns with good tackling safeties right now.
Saved my life.
It making me more nervous about the Byard decision by the second with that conversation right there.
Let's shake out this defensive tackle situation, because I think that's obviously going to be potentially a big spot, at 25 for the Bears. I saw a report this morning that confirms that the Bears are going to have a top 30 visit with Kadyn Proctor out of Ohio State. I'm a little more curious about Peter Woods from Clemson. Caden McDonald. I'm sorry if I said it wrong, but I'm a little more curious about. I'm sorry if I said it wrong.
Peter Woods.
Peter Woods. I just feel like there's just such a wide range of opinion on Peter Woods. I see some people that love him that will run to the podium for him at 25, and then I see other evaluators saying bust written all over him. I just don't understand how it can be that far apart in the opinion of one Peter Woods.
Because these guys, they don't have to do in college. Like they've got such a rotation. When you look at Woods, they have such a rotation at Clemson, at Georgia. So these guys they don't have to be on the field on 3rd and 12, affecting the passing game. It's just a different game. And so then you're trying to project, are they going to be good pass rushers? Do they know how to rush the passer? Do they know how to get on the edge? Do they know how to push the pocket? Philadelphia just paid Jordan Davis. He's had one good year in his whole career because he couldn't manage his weight and he wasn't on the field on 3rd downs. And so, but last year he got himself into shape. It was a contract year and he got paid. You're looking at these guys leaving free agency and they get paid a boatload of money because they actually can rush the passer. And that's the question. Like you can find run stoppers on 1st down, but in this league, you got to affect the quarterback. And so that's the question. Whether it's Peter Woods right now or Christian Miller at Georgia, whatever, like you can look at these guys and honestly, it's just a projection because if you watch some of these offenses, the ball's out of these quarterbacks' hands so fast that you never get a chance. There's no play action passes in college. There's no 7-step drops. There's none of this stuff in college. And so you have a hard time evaluating some of these guys because they don't have to do the things that you have to do at the NFL level.
Do you see Colton Hood as an elite corner, Baldy, or just a guy?
No, I see him as an elite corner. I really do. I met the kid at the Senior Bowl this year. He came running up to me after one of the practices, introduced himself. I think you watch him like they played press man coverage at Tennessee. he didn't look afraid to get his hands on guys, and then he can run with you the way you got to be able to run. He's 6 foot. He's 190 pounds. He's got the size you need. I think he's got 2 years of experience at Tennessee, going up against elite receivers every week. I'm a big, and then you just watch the way he ran through the drills at the combine. I've watched him pretty intensively. Like, he just looks super smooth to me. Looks like a guy that can fit in, and some of these guys at the corner position, you got to draft them at the top of the first round because that talent doesn't last very long in the draft.
He's mocked late first round, and the Bears are talking best player available, and you got Jalen coming off an injury, and they're falling out of favor with Tyreek, and it's like, well, I mean, premium position.
I didn't understand them. I didn't understand them not re-signing Nahshon. Honestly, like, that guy. If Jalen was healthy, I don't know if he could have beaten him out last year. Like, the guy did everything, and he's 6'4", and he could play any style. Like, I thought he was awesome. To let him walk to the Jets like that, I thought that was one mistake in free agency. Because it didn't cost the Jets a lot. I think the Jets paid $5 million for him. Right. Like, I thought that guy proved that he's a starting corner in this league.
Yeah, people speculated, too, he's going to get paid, that Bears are going to lose him. Well, he didn't get paid, and he was successful here, and Al Harris likes him, and it's not a lot of money.
Well, I'll say this much. From all your Baldy's breakdowns, the guard from Penn State that you're completely in love with, there's nothing more fun than watching you break his tape down.
I might just do it today for fun. He's the most fun guy. Like, I remember when Landon Dickerson came out of Alabama. I'm like, oh, my God. Anybody that's getting Landon Dickerson, they're going to be so good. Like, he just enjoyed just dumping people to the ground. And, like, Penn State was so smart. Like, they just moved him around. And then they didn't even they just basically said, it's like flag football. Like, we're just going to run over here. Like, we don't care if you know. Like, good luck trying to stop this guy. Like, we're gonna drag him across like a tight end and just go let him block the defensive end with the running start. And he just plants him into the turf like it's a spring flower. Like, there's nothing this guy, the joy that he has in putting people in the ground is just, like, he's the Undertaker. He just enjoys putting people into the ground. You can't have any more fun in the film room than watching him.
It looks like a dad running through the living room just throwing his kids into the couches. Like, it's hilarious to watch. But
I know that drill well. I love doing that with my nieces and nephews, man.
Absolutely. But real quick before you go, we did have from our guy in the chat, Tranchita, asking about Danny Dennis Sutton to flip it to the other side on Penn State, the defensive end. Anything you know about him, or should the Bears have him on his radar?
He was impressive. He was impressive at the Senior Bowl when I saw him live. Like, just his twitch, he's got some twitch to him. Wasn't the biggest guy out there, but I thought he was impressive in his workouts at the Senior Bowl. Like, I've watched more of him there than I did at Penn State, although I saw him at the Penn State Pro Day last year hanging around. Like, I just thought there was a guy that, has, day 2 type draft ability that could be developed.
All right, last one for me, Baldy, and we appreciate the extensive timer. Mike Washington, I hadn't really paid much attention to until I saw you called him out. Running back, Arkansas, and Bears had a ton of success last year with Monungai, but DeAndre Swift's going to be a free agent. So, and this guy, I'm watching his tape, it's like, oh, got some physicality here, got some wiggle. You like him, no one's talking about him.
I don't know why. I mean, Arkansas was terrible. They fired their coach last year. All that stuff is true. But honestly, that guy at 225, 227 pounds and running the 4.3s, like, his speed and size combination, and then just the way that he can explode, like, he is – I don't know why people aren't talking about him. I think he's the one guy in this whole draft that I know – look, I understand that Notre Dame, has got 2 backs that everybody loves, and I get it. But how far away is Mike Washington Jr. from those 2 guys at Notre Dame? Because he looks like physically he looks just as good as Love or Price, to me right now.
Yeah, Baldy, I'm going to piggyback off of that a little bit because Mike Washington just had the best RAS score we've ever seen at the NFL Combine, a perfect 10. You mentioned the size there. You don't typically see a 4.33 40 at 6'1", 223. And, and this RAS score, this is out of over 2,000 running backs scored since 1987. So, I mean, he is a freak athlete. He averaged over 6 yards per carry in college, too. I'm kind of with you. I'm not really understanding why more people aren't talking about him.
I don't know either, honestly. Like, I just think, like, that guy's going to get carries next year. If Monangai can do what he did for the Bears last year in the 7th round, I mean, this guy is bigger. And Kyle was good. I loved him. Like, he broke a lot of tackles last year. But this guy is bigger, stronger, and faster. All right? And I don't know. You want to build everybody wants to be able to run the football in this business. Seattle just lost the MVP, and they got a guy that's injured in Charbonnet. Like, is Seattle going to pass on Mike Washington Jr.? They don't seem to make many mistakes in the draft. Like, you put that guy in that offense behind an experienced, good offensive line. Like, that guy's going to run for over 1,000 yards.
Well, we owe you, Baldy, for all this time you spent on with us today. I know the fans really appreciate it. What beach are you hitting up before the draft?
I just broke down the surf today in Fort Lauderdale. It's sparkling. The water is crystal clear. You can flip a nickel and a quarter from 50 feet, and you can see the difference at the bottom of the sand. It's phenomenal right now.
Have you ever come face to face with a shark, Baldy? What's your most terrifying experience out there?
I think when I saw 2 bull sharks come from the depth last year when I was shark diving, they chummed the waters pretty good. And I was in Jupiter, about a mile offshore, and I saw these 2 bull sharks coming. Like, sharks don't, they generally aren't interested. But when bull sharks are coming from the depth, like from the darkness, and they're coming like 2 at a time for that chum, that made my heart stop just a little bit.
I didn't think you were going to be able to rip that off, and that's amazing that you. What'd you do? Just
an
freeze?
Experienced shark diver, and this girl, she calmed my fear. She told me that the bulls are going to come first. Then the lemons are going to come, and the nurses, and maybe we don't get hammerheads here, but maybe so. But like, she was right. Like, the bulls came first. They smelt that chum first, and so the first time I saw them coming, I was like, all right, I'm going to stay near the surface. Get near the ladder here, just in case.
Doesn't it? You don't want to be in the water when you put the chum out there, right? Like, that's probably not a good idea, or is that
the idea? Like, the idea is to bring the sharks, let them come, and then just sort of observe them. I'm not there to poke them, or to make them angry or anything. I'm just there to observe them, just enjoy, just get the RPMs that come from watching sharks circle you. It's invigorating.
One time I was in a lake drinking whiskey, and a fish bit my nipple, and I screamed, and I was like, a fish just bit my. I watched it swim backwards after it bit my. That was the scream after it bit my nipple, and no one believed me. And then I swear to God, Baldy, 3 minutes later, that same fish bit my other friend's nipple, Kevin Devine, and he didn't believe me. Then he believed me.
Shout out Kevin Devine.
You guys probably aren't candidates to be noodlers down in some bass lake in Texas or Oklahoma, where you're just putting your arm into a big hole in the dark and just letting some catfish bite it, and then just pull them out. You're probably not going to do that.
Baldy, I was on a farm this weekend, and I shingled a shed for the first time in my life. So I'm breaking barriers here, just so you know.
Yeah, that's work, man. That's real work doing that.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of myself. I held it there, and the dude nailed it in. I was like, yeah. All right, we'll let you go. Thank you.
I would rather break down Yoani than do some nails and shingles to the roof right now. I know that.
Yeah, for every day, all day, every day. All right. Hey, we'll talk to you when we get closer to the draft, Baldy. Thanks so much. We appreciate it always.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
The great Brian Baldinger.
The best.
That he is truly. There's literally nothing you could throw him, and he can't. He doesn't have a good answer for it. It's fantastic. All right, let's come on back. There's big Chicago news yesterday that plays into the Bears as well. So we'll hit that in a second. But first,
want to give a shout out to our good friends over at Sunnyside. Nobody that I love more than our good friends over at Sunnyside, especially this time of year when I'm over at Wrigley Field looking right down the street. There's that Sunnyside dispensary that we all know and love. They're all over the Chicagoland area as far as south of Champaign. right across the street from Bub City on Clark. So you can get it anywhere. And our friends at Sunnyside Dispensary are here to elevate your baseball season. And Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free shopping. Crazy selection with over 100 different strains to choose from with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. And so head to their website for only the best under the sun, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter the promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Sunnyside Dispensary, only the best under the sun. Only for 21 or older or Illinois medical card holders.
And a shout out to our friends at Ray Auto. What's up, Ray Scarpelli? The shot clock is ticking. And it is your chance. Give me the football. It is your chance to shop buzzer beater deals all month long.
You're supposed to have a basketball for buzzer beater deals.
but Ray's a football guy. Stop in today and drive home with 0% financing for 72 months on new Chevrolet Mouse. How long is that, Greg?
5 years.
That would be 6. It's amazing how you get it wrong every day. 72 divided by 12 is 6. Yeah. Okay. Hey, they did. It's amazing. One of the largest Chicagoland inventories. You are sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. That's right. Get in there with the raised price promise. It lets you shop confidently because the price you see is the price you pay. Go see it for yourself. Visit them. Convenient location. Route 12 in Fonts Lake. Drive there. Take the Metro. Either way. And don't forget to shop at their car clearance madness event all month long. Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since
1963.
Together, let's drive and play football. All right. So let's shout out again to Baldy for making time today. We appreciate it. And shout out to the chat. You guys are having a day too. Peanut had a little wasted. You're in there. Tony's out today. Torian's out today. King Booker, you've been on fire this week. Appreciate all you guys. Just want to let you know, of course, that we see you and we appreciate you. So thank you. Even you, Don Burr. All right. So I got to thinking, Greg, it was a brilliant thought as per always. Cause,
what do you want?
Well, you know, the news came out.
Baldy stuff was fun, but this better be good.
Well, I think that's going to be minorly good at least.
Okay.
So Pete Crow-Armstrong, PCA, the news coming out yesterday. The Cubs are
PCA.
going to get an agreement together with their
opening day on Thursday. It's crazy.
I know. I'm actually thinking about going up to Milwaukee to see the White Sox this weekend because it's going to be freezing and they have a dome, and that seems like a fun thing to do versus sitting in the freezing cold to see the Cubs.
Or March Madness is on.
Well, yeah, but you could do a combo is how I'm kind of looking at it. Cubs are, we'll see. I don't know. I'll figure it out. See how the Iowa Hawkeyes do on Thursday night. But so the point being is that we have been in the absolute dark ages of Chicago sports for about the last 5 to 10 years. I haven't done the exact math on it, but it feels like forever. The Bulls have been relevant since Tom Thibodeau walked out the door after LeBron. They were up 2-1 after Rose hit a banker, and then LeBron hit a game winner on Sunday. They lost the next 2. Series was over, and the Bulls have been dead since. The Blackhawks have been, in the same scenario, except they finally found their guy Connor Bedard, and now it looks like he's really coming into what everybody thought he would be. But it's been dead for a decade plus there. And then the Cubs, 2016 was the greatest thing ever. In 2017 they were there, and even 19 and 20 they were sniffing around it. But for the last 5 years until last year, just completely disinteresting. The White Sox, my God, 121 losses, all of it, and the Bears finally came alive this year. Now the Bears have been wildly entertaining since we started doing this show. Through the 3-14 Justin Fields Bears and trading the number 1 pick, the Bears have been a great talking point, but we have not seen the winning that Bears fans deserve. And so now it feels like, well, when you beat the Packers in the playoffs and you're one step closer to go, you were a couple of completions away from going to the NFC Championship game, it does feel like the worm has turned Ben Johnson, Caleb, and company. And then you look at the Blackhawks and Connor Bedard and more draft picks coming, and it looks like that thing's coming. And now here come the Cubs with PCA and a playoff appearance and, getting through the first round last year before, losing to the Brewers in 5. Like, all of this feels like we actually might be coming out of the darkness and getting the new faces. Like the current Mount Rushmore of Chicago is coming together. PCA, Caleb Williams, Connor Bedard, and you can even in a distance, you might be able to see a Colson Montgomery on the south side, and perhaps a Modest Buzelis or a Josh Giddey with the Bulls, which I'm really reaching. But those are two nice young pieces there that could come into something. So, and then, by the way, why don't we do this, Steven? I like when Chicago has sort of a cross sports thing going on, where you go to one game and like someone's throwing out a first pitch at the Cubs game, and it's from the Bears, and people are going crazy. Or you go to a Blackhawks game, and the head coach of the Bears is there, and there's a lot of excitement to see him. And it's moments like that where it makes you smile, right? Like, this is the best sports city on the planet, damn it. And there's, whatever, Boston, Philly, New York, all great sports cities. But Chicago, when we're going, even when we're not going, because we hang in there, it's why, we have such pride in it. So, like, I feel like we could be coming out of the dark ages. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Cubs make the playoffs last year. That rivalry with the Cubs and the Brewers certainly turned up a few notches, and obviously the Bears, the renaissance year that they had, knocking out the Packers. I mean, Luke Stuckmeyer with our CHGO Cubs team is joking about the curse of Wisconsin because Milwaukee held up the L flag after beating the Cubs, and then they get swept by the Dodgers. The Bears go on to beat the Packers in the playoffs. Wisconsin loses in the tournament. Marquette plummeted in college basketball. Giannis, I think the Bulls were trying to steal him for a minute.
True.
But regardless, it's just that's more of a fun thing. But no question, I mean, and it's wild. Like with Ben Johnson, you see that video there, and the good, better, best thing kind of really just resonating throughout the entire city, and not just with Bears fans, but you had a Blackhawks game, right? Like, this has become like a Chicago rallying cry, and between him and Caleb Williams, like, it's hard to decipher who's the bigger guy in the city. I know the answer is Caleb, but at the same time, like, the Ben Johnson aura and just the craziness that surrounds him, for doing what he's done for this franchise and Caleb, and the trickle-down effect, I think it really does start with Ben. As much as players are always going to be revered first, you wear players' jerseys. You don't wear coaches' jerseys. That being said, how many people are wearing good, better, best sweaters, during the winter? It's just something. And when the Bears are good, it really, you talk about Ben being a trickle-down effect. When the Bears are good, I just feel like that kind of positive energy kind of spreads throughout the city as well.
Right, and then you do want the most popular team in town to kind of lead the way, so to speak, if you will. But the fact that PCA, just on an individual basis, that PCA and Caleb are friends,
right, and
is
Bedard
cool
as well, right?
Yeah,
all those guys get
like that. When
Modest as well.
Modest shows up at training camp. Like, there's a crossover going on here. When I was a kid, back in the dark ages, you had
Walter.
Walter, and Michael was going over to Walter's house. Jared Payton has told those stories on here where the doorbell rings and he goes to get him, goes to answer it, and MJ's standing there. And he's like, "Oh, my dad's in the basement." Like, those stories are incredibly cool. I had a poster up back in the day. It was Class for All Seasons, and in a tux was Andre Dawson of the Cubs, who was wildly popular when he got here in '87. Andre's Army, and the Cubs went to the playoffs in '89. And Jordan, who don't need to say anything about that, greatest player to ever play anything, and then and Sweetness, and like there was Chicago, we've had and Frank Thomas is on the South side. Like there's a pride in it. Like we have big names in sports, and who have we had the last decade?
Not
death
much.
and death. I mean, they were both at the door, basically, and now it's like okay. So I don't know.
Think about it. I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, you had 6 years ago, whatever you want to say, you had all the World Series Cubs players getting shipped out, right? Schwarber and Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo and Javi Baez. And the Bears draft Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. And they had to wear that for how long?
Forever.
They're not wearing it, though, with Caleb anymore. I mean, but
they're wearing it less. You're right. You're right.
You wear it less now because you have a quarterback of your own to be proud of. And so, and even the White Sox, I'll give Sox fans crap, but I'll say they're turning the corner just from the standpoint of Ishbia, the incoming new owner. Like, you're feeling a new energy from that fan base because you can finally see that light at the end of the tunnel. Now, I always say this about the Bears. How far is that light? But there is a light. You can see it. Now you just have to, climb through that tunnel. Little Shawshank Redemption here for them. It might be a long one, but they're going to get through it. A couple bad seasons. But the Bulls are the one where it's like, as much as modest, it can be exciting at times. There's just, I feel bad for our CHGO Bulls guys because I know how difficult a task it must be to continue to stay entertaining to the viewers and do what you got to do.
But at least they've torn it down. I get it; they're not going to be able to get down to the bottom right now.
Still,
but it's they got to wait. They got another
You're
year.
at the studs right now.
You're not even there yet because you got to go through another year of it and then get Art AK out of here and then, but you're getting closer at least to that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting, and with PCA's deal, about to be announced. It still hasn't. I think they're still going through some process stuff. I think maybe tomorrow. Some of our Cubs guys said maybe tomorrow. That got me to thinking, when it's time to pay Caleb Williams, how much is this dude going to get paid?
$70 million.
And looking at it, I told Steven, let's pull up the chart here with, quarterbacks that have been paid. Steven, help me out because my eyes are a little bad.
I got you. Dak's at the top with 60, followed 55. There's a bunch of 55s. Jordan,
sorry if I missed
Trevor,
this.
really fine. You were sitting here. Burrow, Allen.
Was I?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I'm pretty certain you were. Yeah. And then Tua, showing you the nightmare side of it. You could pay somebody, then it doesn't work out. Jared Goff was super expensive, but that's working out well for the Lions at 53. Brock Purdy, mostly working.
But and how many years too? 4 or 5 year deals.
Right.
For the Mars Bar. Who's the guy with the 10-year deal down there? Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the question is it going to be a 4 or 5 year deal? I guess that's more up to the player, or is it going to be an 8-year deal? Because that's what I think PCA is going to end up with here is an 8-year deal, and then if Caleb's getting over a 5-year deal, somewhere 7-8-year deal. Now you're talking about these guys being here like you're talking about, where it's not just something that's a lightning in a bottle 1 or 2 years. This is something that we're going to get to have for a decade to celebrate with this young talent, and Bedard as well.
That is an interesting, we get, after this year, the Bears can start their conversations with Caleb. And we had a brief moment of talking about Ryan Poles at the Combine saying that we're getting close to knowing whether we've got the guy. So there's still another couple legs to cross here in year 3, clearly. But if the Bears if they make the same leap from year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3, well, then at that point it's how long can you lock them up for it at a rate which you're comfortable with? Because that you would think that's what they would want to do. And Dan Sharp, where's Beijing on this? You just wait, buddy. You wait, pal.
Hell yeah, Dan.
It may not be here, but it's going to be somewhere for my guy. So don't bring that nonsense into the chat and ruin my flavor. King Book Award. I knew that we were soulmates on some level with you with having the Class for All Seasons poster, but that you're officially my favorite of the week. You've been on fire, and now he had the Class for All Seasons poster.
Yep.
Of course you did, and you were too young for that. I understand.
That was a touch before my time. Like I was old enough, like I was
born
in that era to be able to have that poster on my wall.
You were born what year?
85.
Yeah, you
so
were
like
too young.
Right, it was right there. Now, by the time I was 3 and 4 years old, I had Jordan posters in my room. Like I had early Jordan posters. Still have them. Like I saved them. But he
early, like you a Star is Born.
Like 80. I would say 89 was probably my first. 89, 90 was probably my first Jordan posters. But that doesn't mean that the ones that I bought were from. They could have been from a couple years prior. Because like early on, it was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman. Those were the posters, and then we moved on to nothing but Michael Jordan gracing all my walls for an 8-year period.
Yeah, good job. Donnie, you're in a whole other category. Don't ever think you're not.
The best Jordan poster is the one where the sky's all behind him.
The sky's all.
He's got. It's like a blue sky behind him.
Yeah.
It's a great poster.
Okay, I think
It's a great poster.
Yeah.
But yeah.
By the way, Greg. Okay.
It's exciting time.
It is. While we had Baldy on, I did a little bit of research for you.
Are you gonna get me a ticket to go to San Jose?
Well, what I won't do that because it's super expensive, but I will fly you to Oakland and you can drive.
This is what this is interesting because my co-host Craig Bowers, this is exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Instead of paying $1,300 for the ticket to San Jose, he got I think a $600 or $700 plane ticket off Southwest to Oakland, and then he's Ubering from Oakland to San Jose.
How much did he pay?
I think I'd have to look, but I think he said $600 or $700.
Oh, so that was a round trip situation?
Yeah.
So what I'm willing to do is send you out there one way to Oakland. It's $222. You figure out the rest. You in?
One way, how much?
Don't worry about it. I'm getting the one way. So it's 222. I'm sending you out on Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. You land at 11:40. You in? And you can figure out the rest. I'll book it right now.
Oh, no, I'm going to stay home.
What?
I want to go.
I've got it for you right here. Direct. 9 p.m. You land at 11:40. I'll even get you a couple drink tickets for the flight. You just sit there and have some Crown and Diet Cokes, and you can wear your sweatpants and do whatever you do with the stupid stuff the way you travel. Let's go. You in? Here, you want me to?
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it for 17,000 points. It'll cost me. I got enough points to send you.
Oh, I want to go so bad. Then I got to be there for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out the show too, but don't worry about it. It's fine. Anything for you, Greg?
Anybody want to go with me?
Let me just.
I was gonna see if I could stay at Ferrier's house.
Why can't you do that? He'll let you stay there.
Yeah.
What day? You guys are playing Thursday?
Yeah.
So you'll come back on. Is it a day game? Or is it a night game? You don't know that answer. So I'd have to book you on the Sunday flight. Let's see what that'll.
Thursday, then they play Saturday.
Yeah.
So then I have to leave Sunday.
You'd have to leave Sunday, buddy. So we'll put you out on that.
Eric's right. If Jenny's watching, she'll be calling me, yelling at me to not do this.
Yeah, no, Sunday you're on your own. It's a little more pricey, but you can handle it. It'll be like $300-$400.
Yeah.
You want to think about it till tomorrow's show?
I think my biggest
or should
focus.
I just book it for him right now?
No, don't do it. I got to stay
get the points
fiscally
back.
responsible.
I can get the points back.
I appreciate
Should we
it.
book? What do we think here? Should we send Greg on CHGO Bears' dime to the Final Four for his true passion?
It's not Final Four. It's Sweet 16, Elite 8.
Whatever.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
Okay. Should we send you out to San Jose for the round 3 and 4 of the NCAA?
I thought about putting it on Saul because I'm sure Saul will be there covering Arizona. And I wanted to be like, we need to be doing collab work for the company. This is what we need. ALLCITY needs an Arizona-Purdue collab here for the next few days. Nobody reached out about that.
I mean, there's a lot of benefits.
It's stressful too, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's stressful.
It's gonna be really tough for you.
You have no idea how bad I want Purdue to get to Indianapolis because the scene in Indy, if Purdue were to make it,
be unbelievable.
I mean, I was joking about it earlier, but there is a pathway to all 4 Big Ten schools. Illinois, Michigan.
When he says he was
Michigan
joking
State,
about it,
Purdue.
we're doing a social media video, and that's where he was joking about it with Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love for that to happen.
We know. All right. You wimped out.
Reaching the top of the hour here. Make sure you become a diehard and whatnot.
Now you sound so sad.
Because when he puts this on me, then my wheels start turning. That's a really generous offer. But then if I do it, then I got to think about Jenny killing me, become a diehard. Before I die hard at the hands of Jenny, use the QR code on your screen. Use the code JOHNS, JAHNS, for $36 for the whole year. Exclusive written content. Fran Duffy's draft guide. Everything. Free shirt. Discounts on our events like our draft party coming up here. All that and more on the CHGO Bears podcast.
All right. I mean, you're making me happy and sad at the same time, because I would have been nauseous hitting click continue and doing it, but I would have done it. I would have sent you out there.
I know you
on a one way. On a one way. It's I'm giving you. I'm putting the ladder up, and I'm giving you a little boost, but you got to climb the rest of the way, because what am I, married to you? This is.
Think I was gonna do I had this whole joke
and
plan.
You don't have to do the show with me
I
on
feel
Thursday,
bad
Friday.
now, Steven, because I had this whole joke planned about paying Carm to say something nice to Purdue. I was going to say, I will give you $100 to say something nice about Purdue.
Purdue's got some of the greatest fans I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the passion of the fan. Is this a fake $100 bill?
No, it's your money because this is your wallet. What else you got to say about Purdue? So, I had this whole...
That's funny. That's funny, Greg. I have a $100 bill in my wallet?
You do.
Where did I get that?
Maybe you had 2. Who knows? We'll never know.
I got it from Jaqueline. That's where I got that. That was for Thai food the other night.
The other bit I was going to do to end the show was, and this is a real bit, because I've been mentioning this over the last couple weeks, but...
Thick wallets are for
winners. I gave up on my thick wallet last year, the Costanza, as we call it. You'll never have your wallet stolen from you when it's a thick wallet. So shout out to the thick wallets.
Thick wallet.
You might have back pain the rest of your life, but you'll never have it stolen. So the other thing that I was going to finish the show with was I really need everyone's help here going forward, starting today, because I just cannot stop getting fatter. It hasn't stopped. And so, it's time for all of us to put our foot down and end this. And so...
What do you want me to do? Because I would love to put you on
everyone is going to be
diet.
involved in this. This is going to be a summer show theme, I've decided. And what needs to happen here is, starting today, I'm going to the gym. As soon as I leave here, I'm not making any excuses. I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
And then, going forward...
Hit the like button.
Going forward, because I'm a morning gym guy more than an afternoon gym guy, because I like to feel that accomplishment, and also the gym is way busier in the afternoon. If you just knock it out in the morning, in our schedule, especially with the 1 o'clock show, it's just ripe for the taking. So from now on, when I come to do a show here, and I haven't gone to the gym in the morning, 20 push-ups live on the air. Every single time. Do it in D block. I'll have to admit whether or not I've gone to the gym. And if I haven't, 20 push-ups live on the air and have to go to the gym that afternoon or more punishment put in place. Because, I need your help.
I'm good with that, but what I'd like to add on is a little Tai Chi. I want to make you do
Is that food? Oh, I thought that was food.
I want you to, I want to get you moving.
Get to the push-ups. It's not food.
I want to get you, so we'll throw a little Tai Chi. I'll give you the exercises, because that way we don't have to film you down there. You'll just stand in the back and you'll do stuff, and we'll put a timer on it. No, you want the push-ups, Steven?
We're going to do the push-ups, Brax.
Okay, fine.
I just,
Can we gradually increase the number of push-ups as you get more and more fit?
I guess we could try that.
The Dirty Dog's down 65 pounds since January of last year.
That's
big time, Dirty Dog. Congratulations.
I was at peak physical condition a few years ago, and then an escalator happened. And it was a valid excuse when it happened a year and a half ago. But it's been a long time. And I had done a good job of like actually keeping the weight down, and then football season hit, and the stress levels. Carm knows when they lost their first 2 games.
It's the worst person to work with ever.
I was so stressed out that I just ate my way through it it drove us all the way through the playoffs with the food intake, and that was a big part of my plan. But then since football season has ended, it's like 1 week in San Francisco, 1 week in Indy, 1 week in Arizona, another week at the United Center, another week in St. Louis. And I'm just eating and eating and eating and not doing any exercise. And it's over. It's time to start doing something. The sun is out. I got my garage cleaned out and everything's ready. I've got some workout equipment in there. But I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to stop being fat.
All right. Yeah.
I haven't done anything yet. No applause.
No, we'll give you just the thought. You got applause for the thought, and you put it out there. That was there was some vulnerability there. Bear Jordan, you're funny. That wasn't tight cheese. That was jazzercise. That's a good line there. Congratulations. And by the way, congratulations to who was the AI creator yesterday for Carman on the Farm, because this pick is.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, I don't want to fall in love with myself too much here, but I really do think that there's never been a better picture of me, and where I've looked better than like.
Well, that's called AI, and it's not real.
Right, but that's about as good as I could ever look right there. It's a solid T-shirt with crushing a chicken parm.
We had Carm on the Farm, which I got to give a proper shout out to these guys. Getting sent these on Twitter this morning was very entertaining. Everybody's getting in on the bits here. It's the off season, so we're having fun. Ryan Dell, the one that busted out the one where it looks like, what are you gluing?
I'm shingling.
You're shingling, but there's no hammer in your hand. Maybe I haven't.
Close enough.
I haven't done shingles in a long time, so I don't exactly know what that tool is.
We definitely hammered in the shingles.
Holding it looks like something that like glue adhesive. I don't know. Then Cream Sleeve, Cream.
My guy.
Cream is the one that said, "How about Carm eating parm?" And so then there's this one.
I like chicken parmesan better.
Yeah,
chicken parmesan.
I do think it's grotesque. You're eating it with the glove, though. I mean, come on, man.
That's true. Dirty glove.
Yeah,
that's unlike Carm.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be that, gross, germy.
I mean, it's a great smile.
Yeah.
I wish I was that guy. If I could be that guy, I just got to figure it out. Thank you.
Yeah. No, you're welcome.
And good.
Thank you to all of you, because you are going to be on this ride. And if I get fatter from here, it's on you. It's all on you.
Well, you going to give an actual weight of where you're at right now?
It's not good.
Well,
no, I'm not.
Okay. Well, so what's the goal? Yeah.
Well, I probably need to lose. I mean, I've always wanted to be under 200. And every time I get to about 215, like I'm looking and feeling real good.
Well,
and then I can never, like, once you get to 215, 210, at least for me, those last 10 pounds are impossible to move. Like, I'm probably going to lose a lot of weight over the next few months once I lock in. I always do, because I just roller coaster. But, like, to lose that last 10 pounds to get under 200 is so hard to do. So that's
we'll take a 215. That's great. So that's the goal.
So you're already giving up on me getting under.
No, I'm not.
200.
I'd like to set a realistic goal for you to get to.
Yeah.
And then we can move if we want to. We can reevaluate at that point. That's what I'm saying.
Let me get to somewhere around there. Then I'll tell you how much I currently weigh.
Okay.
It's not good.
We all know. We all know.
I mean, if you watch any of the videos or see any of these pictures, it's just not good right now.
Well, you're going to kick it.
But you know what? Like, I don't want to make too much light of it, because I know many of us struggle with our weight, and it's a real thing. So I'm not trying to show any disrespect to anyone out there. I certainly have throughout the years, some years worse than others. And so now I'm going to lock in, and enough's enough.
There you go. Dan Evans with the how tall is he, followed by Spaz Attack, who I've never seen in the gym before, quickly with the 5'3".
Who, me?
They're asking how tall you are, I think.
Oh.
And then
I'm not 5'3". Come on. 6 foot.
Look, even Pizzatola,
maybe 5'11".
Even Pizzatola's come out of his cave to encourage you with small steps, Braggs. Hitting the small goals motivates you to hit more.
Yeah, I just need to get going because once I lock in, then I'm ready. Yeah. Like, you know how I get once I lock in.
No doubt.
But it's just to lock in. Every day is like, I'll start a tomorrow diet. Tomorrow. But that means today I'm going to eat a bunch of crap.
Nobody procrastinates.
And I just do that every day.
Well, just know that what you're talking about doing is extremely difficult because temptation is literally everywhere, and you have to eat 3.
Especially here. We come to the studio, and every day somebody's bringing something. Donuts or whatever. There's this popcorn that's here every week that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, Pat Norton last week, I was on my way, and then Pat Norton brought in the pastries, and nobody ate them. So I went crazy back-to-back days. It was awful. But it was delicious. Thank you, Pat Norton. Bring those back. Those were amazing. All right, we're going to go because
today's gym picture will be in honor of Eric Beauchanton. And every day I'll have a gym picture, and that will be honored by somebody every day of who I like the most in the chat.
All right.
And the person I hated the most in the chat today was Brock Peasy. I saw him talking about Purdue earlier, and I thought about cussing him out, but we were in the middle of an interview with Brian Baldinger.
Good job. And I will say this, Braggs. On the farm, I ate like a pig and a half. And when I got back on Sunday night, I went right to the gym. Shout out Midtown. And I swam for 27 minutes roughly with a lot of jumping jacks in the water. I hate this stuff, but I just, my everything hurts, so I got to get it loose. So that was that. And then I stretched in the sauna for a good 25 minutes, sweating like a pig. So I'm in here with you, buddy.
We're trying.
We're going for it.
Because I promised Pat McAfee at the Super Bowl that I wasn't going to be fat next year when we got to the Super Bowl. And I'm like a month procrastinating since that promise. He's going to see me at the Final Four potentially, and he's going to know that I've been lying.
I'll tell you.
He's down there. He's got a suite right by the floor.
I'm at one, just for the record, I'm putting my weight out there. I'm at 187.5 last time I weighed myself. 180 is like, I'm pretty happy, but I haven't been under 180 in forever. So that's my goal. I'd like to hit 177. And let me tell you something. It's going to be miserable for me to get there. But since you're in, I'm in.
We're in.
Let's go. I'm trying to lose 10.
I'm so tired.
10 pounds. Big match next week. I'm 0-2, taking on the Donnenberg, a.k.a. Double D. This is initials, Double D. Hey, Motor Music Michael, you were awesome today, as you always are. $5 from Motor Music Michael. Great show, guys. Love you have Baldy on, rooting for any Big Ten team to win the title since 2000. That's a Big Ten team as last time I was. Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
Rooting for any Big Ten team to win the title since 2000 that a Big Ten team has the championship. Right. Last time was Michigan State.
6 teams here, and 6 of the 16 teams here.
I'm rooting for one Big Ten team. I hope the rest lose. That's me. I don't have the goodness of heart that you bring, Motor Music Michael.
Motor Music Mike is from Steamboat, Colorado. And I asked this guy he said he was from Colorado, and I asked him about Steamboat, and he was like, you should have seen his eyes light up when he started telling me how amazing and Mike already had told me, but I wanted to hear somebody else say it, and he was like, dude, your friend lives in paradise. So we got to go to Steamboat. XAPZ.
I'll take this check because this is an Illinois State question.
Here we go.
Thoughts on Bears drafting Daniel Sopkowicz, the late-round pick, hometown Arlington Heights kid with a RAS 9.45, leads all D1 in TD yards and receptions. He did have 19 touchdowns last year.
This is 40 time.
I was trying to find that. So all I saw online, which would be contradictory to this 9.45 RAS score, was a 4.65, I think I saw, which is you got no shot as a wide receiver at getting drafted if you have a 4.65. 40-yard dash, or very little chance. The production was there. 6'3" is what he was listed as at ISU. we'll find out when we get those measurements. Northwestern actually invited him to their pro day, which I thought was a classy move. So he had the ISU pro day. He also had Northwestern's pro day. It's an uphill climb. He's probably top 3 FCS player eligible for this draft right now. I would love to see a team take a flyer on him. I think it's more likely he goes undrafted, but it'd be an interesting pick for sure. I would think more along the J.P. Richardson line that we saw with the Bears last year, where he goes undrafted. They end up picking him up after, invite him to training camp, give him a chance to prove himself. But, hey, I would love to see it. To go from a walk-on to one of the all-time best wide receivers in ISU history, that includes Cameron Meredith, former Bear. Okay. That's a pretty impressive climb.
I liked Cam Meredith.
It's our leading receiver one year.
It also falls under the, where I was already out there with my guy.
All right, come Sweet Bibby's challenging me.
Right now?
I didn't go to the gym this morning, so we're going to do 20 push-ups right now. Let's just do it. Get it done with, all right? Appreciate it.
Put your hands on the table and do them.
No, why would I do that? Do them right. All right, we ready? Almost. All right, we ready?
Do a cat-cow. Do a cat-cow.
Dude, what's a cat-cow? Just do the damn push-up.
You don't know what a cat-cow is? Oh, my God. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nobody look at his ass. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now get up and do a dance. Do a dance. Don't zoom in on the sweatpants. All right, we'll end it there. You stay down.
I'm alive.
Good work. That was good. That sucked. What didn't you like about it, Steven? Hey, Steven is our
You go a little lower.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Baby
My
steps.
belly hit.
Damn right it did. That's why we're having this conversation. All right.
You just got a 0.4 RAS score from Pokemon Profit. No, but I respect it, Braggs. I'm gonna.
Good job. You just
We're gonna
hold
do
you
it.
accountable.
You jumped in. Hey.
And by camp, I'm going to be ready.
He's dude just got the boogers on his hand and then just gave me the fist. We got into the show because I got to go wash that off. All right. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow at 1. Working on some big guests. It looks like we're frozen. Are we frozen? No, we're not? Okay, good. Great.
Squirrel.
Great. Sit-ups tomorrow, John Clark. We got everything going on here. And thank you to Baldy for giving us the first 30 today. So that was awesome. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
I'm fat.
We all silly like the mayor.